guys rate Cincinnati as a beer destination? Because like in GCCBS, that gets talked about all the time. Like, I'm sure I'm so much hated for my anti-local homerism.
I think we have to, yeah, I think we have to understand what destination means. I think we're a good travel city because we're a hub. So Cincinnati's always been very vibrant, at least from a business side of things, and had a nice hub. We're on the travel, interstates, so we have that destination. Oh, I mean that'd probably be. That's a little bit of a stretch, I think. Yeah. We have some really nice action happening. Good places to visit for people when they're here. It's certainly not a bad city to come to. It's like you don't go to Cincinnati and be like, I ain't shit to do. If you say that, well then there's just something else that's wrong. But good stuff to go do. Lots of cool spots to hit that are within easy travel distance. We don't really have a beer district,
right?
So much.
We don't have a south slope,
right?
Yeah. So I'm not saying we have to have one, but we don't. So it's a hoop around.
I mean, look at San Diego. San Diego's pretty spread out on their breweries. You're not walking to 8 breweries in San Diego.
Not exactly, no.
But San Diego's also 70 degrees year round.
right. So when you're getting around Cincinnati, you can hit pockets of places and hit some nice spots. You can hit. I gotta give a shout out to my Central Corridor folks. You got, I mean, even just right there even if you start at Right Guys, or even Taps if you want to go deeper. But within that corridor right there, you hit Taps, you hit Right Guys, pop on up to Urban. The new spot's opening up, which is the Merry Monks or whatever.
The Happy Monks?
Happy Monks.
Yes. Humble Monk.
Humble Monk. Just right there. Just I'm saying, something happening right there. Little beer stores in there too. I'm not even just talking about the breweries.
Listing Loon.
For the beer stores, yeah. But
there.
But as far as the breweries go, then you're coming up with Brink. They've been putting some nice stuff out. I just had their Northeast IPA Afterglow and Factually Late. Both beers got crushed, solid. And then you got the Fib up there. Bob and Betty do a nice job over in their spot. They're doing some different things. Very laid back neighborhood kind of vibe. It's not this. It's not your. It's not your other shit. Yeah, it's not that. Which is nothing wrong with that.
It's not that. On the rooftop.
They've been really, their stuff's improved. They just had their second anniversary stop through there. They had a mulberry tart ale.
Enjoyable.
Solid. Yeah. Several other things anyway. So just all through there, and then even shooting up, you got some stuff going on up north. Even within that central kind of 75 piece up there. Swine City's getting ready to open up.
Grainworks.
They'll do their thing, yeah, for sure. Shooting off into Blue Ash. I mean, there's just, that's not in not downtown or not in some of the particular areas. Again,
well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Is that Cincinnati we've got so many breweries now, but it's little pockets everywhere.
Well, I mean, you kind of look at Woodburn and the East End.
Right.
It's about an 8-minute drive from Woodburn to Streetside, and it's I think I timed it to 5-minute, 30-second walk from Streetside to Blank Slate.
Exactly.
And then it's a few more minutes to that other place. And then a few more minutes to 50 West.
Right.
And so, that's an easy afternoon you could do.
Exactly. They're not we don't have a, when you say destination, when you say destination, then you have a shopping community, you have food, you have beer, entertainment, all of it right there. We have OTR, but the breweries have not invested, and I don't want to slight anybody. I mean, Rheingeist is right there, Taps is right there, but when you look at
Moreline is hanging in there
on the far end. I don't
the lager house or the malt house.
Yeah, sort of.
Still kind of on the street.
Not so much OTR though. I mean, depending on how you're breaking it up, kind of. And I don't mean to exclude anybody. The bottom line is what we don't have a real eclectic type brew pub downtown. We don't have certain breweries going in and doing food things and doing certain vibes down there. They're doing food.
Right.
Mad Tree has. The pizza has Catch a Fire. Taft's does their food, so you can, I've made my argument about brew pub and restaurant with beer.
Tasty tots.
So, for sure, love the food there. Great beers too. So you have those things going on, but we're not seeing an investment on the brewery side of those things. Plenty of places to go get beer. Lots of cool spots to get a variety of stuff. Alcohol in general, which is, I like alcohol in general, not just the beer, but there's lots of good places.
That's why I've got the bourbons for you behind.
Yeah, well, yeah, as long as there's no tequila here, I'll make it out of here. Fair enough. But so there's a lot of cool vibe happen around the city. It's just if we're going to get to destination, we have to tie in transportation better. I want to go harp on that, but transportation has to be better. And then you have to centralize, things where people are there and they don't have to go very far to do things.
Right.
If you look at any of the major cities that were just talked about, they have all of those things in some combination within their space. So
everything's connected.
In a sense, yes, or it's convenient or close to. I mean, you can go down to Asheville and you don't have to leave Cox Avenue. You can start at the top, hit the Thirsty Monk, and then go down and you hit, the pizza, Asheville Pizza,
Twin Leaf.
Yeah, Twin Leaf, we can go on.
Burial's just off
the bottle shops. Like you don't have to go anywhere else, and there's still other places to go.
Half a block away.
Highwire.
There's still other places to go, and that's just that one street.
Well, in Cleveland,
we don't have that
here. They've got.
We don't have a street to walk down and say, "Hey, I could hit boom, 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 boom," and not go anywhere else and make it that day.
Wilmington, North Carolina. Where the fuck is Wilmington, North Carolina? It's a small town on the coast in southwest North Carolina. I'm going there this weekend. They have a river cutting through there, Cape Fear River or something, and there's like 5 or 6 breweries and bars and bottle shops right along this market street right against the river. We have a river, but we don't have a lot of stuff down there. Right? I mean, we've got a few mediocre bars, we've got the Logger House, but we could have a bunch of breweries right there. That would be a better destination.
I think, but here's on the flip side though. I think the fact is that we have a bunch of these neighborhood places popping up. I mean, I'm a neighborhood bar. I'm not, I'm not downtown in OTR trying to do whatever. I'm a neighborhood bar. Fibonacci's a neighborhood kind of brewery. Even urban, a little bigger in their standpoint from the distribution, but Brink is neighborhoody. From just picking my stuff that's within my.
Well, that's been their whole goal
context,
is to be like in the neighborhood hub.
Who's the cat? The cats that just opened up over in Loveland, Narrow Path. Okay, I mean, they're doing their thing there. Even Swine City is looking at their thing.
They're very
just because I know that because I've just talked to those guys. They're there. 50 is even kind of centric to their area, even though they do.
Well, see, I think 50 is the best kind of example. I'm gonna get all this hate for loving on 50 again, but they're the best kind of example of really what you're talking about is that the Salaru family really did make an investment into creating a hub around themselves for those very issues that you're talking about. That, I mean, they owned, several of the businesses along the way, but, Bobby saw the potential there. So you had the brew pub, and then, they opened up the cyclery, they opened up the kayak center, and now they've got the production facility after closing down Hahana Beach and making it the production center, but they own Pizzelli's, and I know a couple other things.
That's all I gotta say. That's just baller.
Oh yeah,
the whole thing is just cool, within its context.
And if you look at like a lot of the BrewDog is a perfect example of this. Is that it's no longer enough to just open up a brewery in somewhere and
just
make
a tap room with nothing.
And just have a tap room with nothing around it. You have to build a culture there, like. A Woodburn is another good example of it's a taproom bar, but then they've got the food option, but they've also worked very hard to incorporate the other businesses there around them to make a whole little community there.
Streetside does that too. On the east side's got a real community kind of. Cincinnati's built that way. We all are neighborhoods. What high schools you go to and all that kind of jazz, all the shit we know about. So we have our little pockets. Cincinnati, we don't really like to drive 15 minutes. Like if it's over 15 minutes, all of a sudden it's like, man, bro, you're taxing me, man. Like the gas.
I was just trying to get my friends over in Northern Kentucky to come over here. Like, forget about
crazy, I know. So anyway, that's where a lot of us thrive, from that aspect. So that's cool. But I think that's something that within the context of destination, back to what we were talking about anyway. The destination piece, downtown though is where that's where the destination has to happen. I mean, it could be some other spots. If it does, it'll be normal Cincinnati Bass Ackwards if that's what happens. But really, it should be, downtown. We should around the trolley. Like you should be able to just you should be handing me a map right now, and I should be going. I'm going to go to boom, 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 boom on this little thing and get a punch, and then bam, there
Cincinnati Ale Trail. Somebody's got to make it happen.
The brew bus does have a. The brew bus does have a.
And it's cool that we're doing that. We've got it there. I'm just saying for destination,
right? You have to have the walkability.
You can't have to rely on a bus tour to get you around or some kind of big tour like that. It's great that we have those, All those guys that do those are super good guys, man. We have a great community of people that are at least getting them around to the breweries and exposure, and some of the bar owners and different people, the reps are out there. We get 50 West beers over at the Lucky Turtle. I mean, that's 25, 30 minutes away for anybody living over there.
Right.
So how often are they going to get over there? They do here and there, but for the not the hardcore, but the people more invested in going to drink beer. But otherwise, people aren't going to get out and try all these beers except for the distribution aspect. If they can get in there and have an area, that's there and has them all, man, I'm telling you, then we get destination. Then people are wanting to come.